A massive earthquake struck the island nation of Indonesia just hours ago, leaving devastation in its wake. The tremors, recorded at a staggering magnitude of 7.9, have raised alarms worldwide. Here's everything we know about this unfolding disaster. On April 27, 2026, at 2:15 p.m. local time, a powerful earthquake measuring 7.9 on the Richter scale struck off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. The epicenter was located approximately 100 kilometers from the city of Padang, a densely populated area with over 900,000 residents. Eyewitness accounts describe buildings swaying violently, with many collapsing within minutes. Emergency services reported that at least 200 people are confirmed dead, with thousands more injured. The Indonesian government has deployed rescue teams and military personnel to assist in relief efforts. This earthquake is particularly alarming because it follows a series of smaller tremors that had been recorded in the region over the past week, suggesting a buildup of seismic activity. Unlike previous quakes that were less intense and caused minimal damage, this earthquake has already exceeded initial expectations regarding its impact, prompting fears of aftershocks and potential tsunamis in the area. Indonesia is located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region known for its high seismic activity. The country experiences frequent earthquakes, but the scale and destruction of this event raises significant concerns about preparedness and infrastructure resilience. Padang, which suffered a devastating earthquake in 2009, had implemented improved building codes in response to previous disasters. However, the sheer magnitude of this quake has overwhelmed local capabilities. Hospitals are already reporting shortages of medical supplies as they struggle to treat the influx of injured individuals. The economic impact of this disaster could be profound. The region's economy, heavily reliant on agriculture and tourism, may suffer long-term setbacks. Reconstruction costs will likely escalate as the government mobilizes resources to rebuild. International aid will be crucial in the coming weeks as countries around the world assess their ability to assist in this humanitarian crisis. Looking ahead, experts warn that the risk of aftershocks remains high, which could further complicate rescue efforts and exacerbate the existing humanitarian crisis. Local authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant and prepared for additional seismic activity. As the situation develops, the focus will shift towards not only immediate relief, but also long-term strategies for rebuilding and enhancing resilience against future disasters. The coming days will be critical in determining the future safety and stability of the affected communities. The recent earthquake in Indonesia has resulted in devastating consequences for countless individuals and communities. Reports indicate that thousands are missing, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble, and hospitals are struggling to cope with the overwhelming number of injured patients. In response to this crisis, the Indonesian government has declared a state of emergency, mobilizing emergency services and resources to assist those affected. This disaster comes at a time when many residents were already facing economic hardships due to previous natural disasters and the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which had already stretched resources thin. The region's infrastructure, already weakened by years of environmental challenges, is now under tremendous strain, complicating rescue and recovery efforts. The humanitarian implications of this disaster are significant. Many communities were already vulnerable, grappling with high unemployment rates and limited access to healthcare. The earthquake further exacerbates these challenges, threatening to displace families and disrupt their livelihoods in a region where many rely on agriculture and small businesses to survive. Experts warn that the potential for supply chain disruptions could lead to severe food and medical shortages, placing additional stress on already strained resources. As hospitals fill up, the risk of disease outbreaks increases, creating a dire situation for public health. The lack of clean water and sanitation facilities in the aftermath of the earthquake heightens these risks, making immediate intervention critical. International aid organizations are preparing to deploy their teams to provide much-needed relief. These organizations play a crucial role in delivering essential supplies, medical assistance, and psychological support to affected individuals. The interconnected nature of global economies means that the repercussions of this disaster extend beyond Indonesia's borders. Neighboring countries may also feel the impacts, particularly if supply chains are disrupted or if there is an influx of refugees seeking safety and support. Looking ahead, the recovery process will require not only immediate aid, but also long-term support to rebuild and strengthen communities. The international community must prioritize disaster preparedness and resilience-building efforts in regions prone to natural calamities. Investing in infrastructure, healthcare, and economic stability will be essential to mitigate the impacts of future disasters. As Indonesia begins to recover from this tragedy, a focused commitment to sustainable rebuilding will be vital for fostering resilience and ensuring that affected communities can thrive in the future. Indonesia has a long history of seismic activity due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region known for frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Recently, the country experienced a series of smaller quakes, which initially raised concerns among residents, but ultimately led to a sense of complacency regarding the potential for a major disaster. This pattern of underestimating seismic risks is not new. It reflects a historical trend where the frequency of minor tremors dulls public awareness. The Indonesian government has invested in earthquake preparedness programs aimed at educating the population and improving early warning systems. However, despite these efforts, public awareness and infrastructure resilience remain inadequate. Past earthquakes, such as the devastating 2004 Sumatra earthquake and tsunami, have taught valuable lessons. Yet recent assessments indicate a lack of significant improvements in building standards, particularly in vulnerable coastal areas. The nation's geographical and demographic challenges complicate the implementation of effective disaster mitigation strategies, as densely populated urban centers often lack the necessary resources to adopt stringent safety measures. As tremors continued in the lead-up to today's earthquake, experts warned of potential larger quakes, leaving residents and authorities on heightened alert but largely unprepared for the magnitude of today's event. The impact of this earthquake has been profound, with reports of significant destruction and loss of life. Communities are grappling with the immediate aftermath, facing challenges in rescue and recovery efforts. Looking forward, it is critical for Indonesia to prioritize the reinforcement of building codes and invest in comprehensive disaster response training. Only through sustained commitment can the nation hope to improve its resilience against future seismic events, ensuring that citizens are better equipped to withstand the next inevitable earthquake. As rescue efforts continue in Indonesia following the devastating earthquake, experts are predicting several possible scenarios for the region. The immediate aftermath of such natural disasters is often fraught with uncertainty. Aftershocks, which are expected to persist in the coming days, could complicate ongoing rescue operations, endangering both survivors and rescue teams. Authorities may soon find that local resources are insufficient, prompting a call for international aid to assist in recovery efforts. Historically, Indonesia has faced numerous challenges from seismic activity due to its location along the Pacific Ring of Fire. This geographic reality has necessitated the development of emergency response protocols, yet the scale of this disaster could overwhelm even the most prepared local agencies. In the weeks ahead, the focus will inevitably shift towards rebuilding, which will involve a comprehensive assessment of the long-term impacts on the region's infrastructure and economy. The economic ramifications could be significant, especially in areas heavily reliant on tourism and agriculture. Analysts are closely monitoring the response from global governments and non-governmental organizations, as international assistance could play a critical role in recovery efforts. Key indicators to watch include the frequency and intensity of aftershocks, the effectiveness of emergency services in reaching isolated communities, and the speed at which international aid arrives. As we consider these unfolding events, one question looms large. How prepared are we globally for the next big disaster? The lessons learned from Indonesia's recovery could shape future disaster response strategies worldwide. Moving forward, it is crucial that governments prioritize disaster preparedness and invest in resilient infrastructure to mitigate the impact of such calamities in the future. The coming weeks will be vital in determining not just Indonesia's recovery, but also the broader implications for global emergency response systems. As Indonesia grapples with the aftermath of this devastating earthquake, how prepared are we all for the next disaster? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for daily deep dives into critical global issues.